I'm here with 4 ambassadors et je passe en français. Je suis ici avec 4 petits journalistes qui ont
I'm here with 4 journalists,
leurs questions
and I'm going
pour
to
leurs petits camarades et c'est parti.
give you their questions.
Thomas, je suis Clément. Je suis avec
Hello.
Ifra, Célia et Nathan.
Clément, I'm Clément. Hello, Thomas. I'm with Ifrak.
Bonjour à tous.
Hello to all of you. We're very happy to be with you.
Et vous regarde en ce moment.
And we are connected. We can see you now, today, right now. Hello.
Bonjour à tous. C'est un
Hello
plaisir
to
d'être
all.
avec vous.
It's a pleasure to be with you,
Qui aura lieu dans 2
to
jours.
speak to you from the space station.
On commence,
Well, in 2 days we'll begin.
on commence par une première question liée à
We're beginning with the first question.
porte l'eau dans l'espace.
How does the water behave in space?
En 5e, de Aman qui est en journaliste.
And this is from
Français d'Aman.
Amman. He's a Frenchman from Amman.
Eh ben, l'eau
Well,
dans
the
l'espace,
water in
l'eau
space,
dans
that's a good
l'espace,
question. The water in space
évidemment.
floats evidently like everything.
Le plus simple, c'est peut-être que
I
je
think
fasse
the
une
simplest
petite
response is that I
démonstration
make a
dans
small
l'espace.
demonstration for you to show you how it performs in space.
Wow.
Wow.
Voilà, l'eau dans l'espace, c'est aussi simple que ça.
Well, there's the water in space. It's as simple as that. Unfortunately, we're not allowed to be too careless with it because there's a lot of electronic equipment around. But we do need water to wash and so forth, and we're well equipped in that regard.
L'eau recyclée de votre sueur et de vos urines est-elle vraiment bonne? Robin, CM1, Pont Saint-Pierre, école élémentaire.
Well, this is Paul from the elementary school, and I was wondering about recycled water. How good is it? How good does it taste? But yes, actually, recycled water is good. When we think that the water that we drink today is the perspiration from yesterday and the urine from yesterday, but our system performs very well. And of course, you would like to apply this to space travel in general, and yesterday's water is the water for today and for tomorrow and so forth.
Pourquoi y a-t-il de l'eau sur la Terre et pas sur les autres planètes?
Why is there water on Earth and not on other planets?
Le Ulm, collège Janzé.
I am from the Collège Jovet.
Alors, c'est une bonne question.
That's a good question.
D'abord, il y a de l'eau sur les
First of
autres
all, there is water on the other
planètes.
planets. It's just that it's not in the liquid form, at least on the moon. There's water on Mars in the form of ice. There's just a lot more in England, on Earth, and liquid form, which allows life.
Sur la Terre grâce à notre atmosphère, en fait.
And that's our atmosphere, of course, contains water, which protects the presence of water on Earth. We have this covering layer of the atmosphere. On Mars, that doesn't exist, and so as we know, the water does not remain. We're lucky on Earth that we have this covering layer that retains our water, but it's a very fragile system. We have to be careful. If you look out in space, you see a dearth or a death of life throughout space. We're very lucky that we have it here on Earth. That's why we have to take care of our planet, because the entire system is fragile, very simply.
Comment dormez-vous? Question de Loane et Khalil Oron.
Here's a question from Khalil Oran.
Comment se lave? Eh ben,
Well, how do you wash? How do we wash ourselves? Well, we use humid or damp cloths. You see, we rehydrate them with our water distributor that we have on board, which is connected to our drinking or potable water circuit. We keep it for a week, after which we throw it away. You have to be careful because you see it's marked here at 150 milliliters of water. It's not a lot of water. That's all that we have to wash with. Water is very rare. It's abundant it's fairly rare on Earth, but you can imagine how much more rare it would be in space. On Earth, we have to economize so that everybody can have enough water every day in order to meet their personal needs on Earth. But in space, it's all the more so.
dormez-vous? Question de Loan et Kaline.
This is
École primaire.
This is a question from Oran Kaline from the Oran Primary School. How do you wash yourself? Well, how do we wash yourself? Well, with these little washcloths I've been showing you, we rehydrate them and we do our personal cleansing every day, and we try to use as little as possible. Very simply. The question, Thomas, is how do you sleep? Ah, that's the question, if I may. Well, how do we sleep in the space station? Well, look, I sleep very well in the space station. We float, you see. We're attached to the wall with a sort of davit. My cot is horizontal. Others are vertical. Mine is on the floor. Others are on the ceiling. There's no pillow. It's a little bit strange, but at first you get but after a while you get accustomed to it. It really relaxes the muscles. There's no weight, and I sleep very well in the space station.
Station, this is Houston ACR. Stand by. The client's dropped off the line. We are going to reconnect them.
Copy, standing by.
Vas-y.
Go ahead.
À quoi serviront vos expériences dans le futur? Baptiste, CM2, Agicourt, Jean Massé.
This is from Agicourt Racé. Excuse me, I didn't understand. Could you please repeat your question?
À quoi serviront vos expériences dans le futur? Baptiste, CM2, Agicourt, Jean Massé.
This is Baptiste from the Jean Massé School. What will your experiments be used for in the future? Well, we do a lot of experiments inside the space station. We do experiments on man. We are guinea pigs for a lot of experiments. So there are a lot of physical and biological experiments that are masked on Earth that we can do here in space. For example, we can use stem cells, viruses for medicines. We also study technology. We do studies on the biology and on the use of materials. The biology in space gives us access to a lot of things that we cannot see on Earth and that we can see only in space. And that is why the space station is a scientific laboratory which enables us to advance the knowledge on Earth. And at the same time, what we do is we prepare the exploration for the future. We're going to be going further and further, for example, toward Mars. And every day I live this on the space station.
Nous voulions savoir comment l'eau parvient-elle à la station internationale. Clémence et Isabelle, 6e A et 6e B.
This is Clément from 6th grade A and B from Senegal, and I thank you for allowing me to ask the question. We see water comes into the space station from Earth. We are supplied by cargo vehicles that come from time to time from Earth that are launched at us by rockets, and they come to resupply us. We produce raw materials, spare parts, experimental parts for scientific equipment, and also food, of course. And so the second thing that we are supplied with is recycling. We recycle as much water as we can, which enables us to go beyond the boundaries imposed by the small amount of water that we have. So we use our urine, we use wastewater. All of that recycles, and we recycle every day aboard the Space Center. About something like 80% of the water that we use. And so this keeps us supplied in potable drinking water.
Pourquoi l'eau n'est-elle pas potable partout? Orlane, 6e D, Saint-Sébastien-sur-Loire.
Well, the Île-de-Loire College, Sebastian calling. Why is the water not... Well, it depends on geological factors. The Earth has got to filter the water. We need flowing water, not stagnant water, which would promote the growth of bacteria. There's a certain injustice about it. What we can do about it is change the technology and the deal that is available to the human race. Our recycling system gives us potable water in space. It's been perfected, but we have produced a simplified version that can give people access to potable water, to filter water on Earth. And this is what we think that the technology must be placed at the service of mankind to produce potable water, which is probably the most important fundamental resource around the world, and this has got to become a major objective.
Est-ce qu'il pleut dans l'espace?
Does it rain in Spain? This is
Giron, Sainte-Croix.
I'm calling from Sainte Croix, the island of Sainte Croix. Does it rain in space? No, it does not rain in space. But sometimes there's a shower of meteorites, but that's not a very good thing. Inside the station, as you can see, the water would not fall. It would float around. It's a little bit strange. We have no meteorological systems, no clouds. There's the outside. Once I leave the Space Center, we're no longer protected by the walls. It becomes more complicated. There's no atmosphere. And so the water cannot exist in the liquid state outside in the empty, with zero pressure and practically absolute zero temperature. No, so it does not rain in space. I don't think I would have said that, but I've sort of missed the rain on Earth. We sometimes get tired of rain, but here in space, feeling rain and being exposed to the elements is something that I miss. And it's something that I'm going to look forward to experiencing again when I get back to the Earth.
Comment peut-on contribuer à l'apport d'eau pour les personnes en besoin?
How can we contribute to the needs of...
Collège éducatif.
This is George from Collège du Quartier.
Comment peut-on... J'ai pas entendu la suite.
How could I didn't understand all of the question. Our connection's not so good. You know, where it's rather difficult to hear in space. Our connections are not perfect.
La question, c'est comment
The question is,
l'apport d'eau pour les personnes en besoin.
how can we contribute to the contribution of water for people who need it, especially where there is polluted water? This is from Villeneuve-Saint-Georges Educational College.
D'accord. Eh ben, écoute,
Well, listen, as I was saying a little bit earlier, we have the opportunity to be able to repair the injustices of nature because we have the technology. Technology has this negative side, but also a lot of positive sides because it improves the quality of life, extend the lifespan, help with medicines. We work here in the Space Center, and we've developed an experiment. It's a French experiment, and it's called this little aqua, and it's a water container, very small as you can see. We can bring it everywhere on Earth, even into difficult places where water is hard to get, good water. If it works in the Space Center, we're testing it here. We can apply that on Earth so that we can know exactly the quality of the water and so we can filtrate it effectively, even in zones that are very difficult to access. And so what we need to do is continue to work on this and use the technology to improve the inequities of nature.
Quel est votre loisir?
What do you do for fun, for relaxation in space, in the ESA?
Mon loisir dans l'ISA,
My relaxation and fun on the ESA?
D'accord.
Well,
mon loisir dans l'ISS, tu sais,
what I do for relaxation on the ISS, we don't have a lot of time to relax, but a little bit on Sundays and in the evening, things that I like to do are I like to look at Earth, and to take photographs of Earth because it's really magnificent and never imagined before I came. When you see photographs, it doesn't do justice to the spectacle of the Earth, which shines in the dark of an intense, magnificent blue, almost a phosphorescence. That's why we call it the blue continent. We see the desert and the continents and the mountains and the snow, the lights at night, all of this passing by. So we spend a lot of time looking at Earth. Of course, we look at the planets and the stars, but we also look at the Earth quite a bit.
Qu'avez-vous ressenti lorsqu'on a publié le faux selfie? Les petits chatons de l'espace, CE1B, Romainville, école élémentaire Paul Veillant Couturier.
This is the Paul Veillant Elementary School in Couturier.
Ce faux selfie, moi, je l'avais pas vu. C'est des amis.
I have not seen this film. Friends have told me about this movie. It made me laugh. I thought it was a joke, that there were no ill intentions, bad intentions. What it means for me is the two things. It means that not only people are interested in what's happening in the Space Center, which is good because what we do here, we do it for them. We're not doing it for us. I'm happy to go into space, but the research we do here is to help people. And that's why we're here. And so if people are interested in that, even though there's joking about it, so much the better. The second thing that it elicits in me is that the internet is fantastic. There are so many things, including Wikipedia. We can learn everything over the internet. And so it's really a little bit magical, but you have to be careful. There's some things that are a little bit more obscure on the internet. And so it's important to know what is true, what is not true, and to recognize the difference. I think that's part of your education. So if that can help as an exercise to arrive at recognizing what is true and what is not true, and if this can help young people, so much the better. I think it's a positive thing. I think it's a positive thing.
Thomas, on a maintenant pour toi un message.
For Thomas, we have a message for you from the Minister of Education, Mr. Abdelkassem.
Alors moi j'ai une offre simple à vous faire.
I have a simple offer to make to you.
De continuer à intervenir comme cela auprès des élèves.
Would you like to commit to continue to be involved in these interchanges with students? And I see no reason why not, because after all, the education is the citizens' reservoir. I think you're a wonderful ambassador, and I'd like to thank you in advance for your response.
Écoutez, Madame la...
Well, listen, Madam Minister of Education, yes, with pleasure. This is part of my commitment to put space to the service of people and not to make it an egotistical thing where we pick up medals on our chest, which of course are useless. I'm happy to share this with the greatest number of people possible, especially the young, because it can inspire them to have careers that are useful, technological careers, but not only that, but to do things that are useful for the planet and also useful for progress. And so I'd like to continue with this commitment on Earth. Once I was, as a citizen, it would be a great pleasure to do so back on Earth. Thank you enormously for everything.
On a encore le temps pour une dernière question.
Do we still have time for one last question?
Et après cette aventure, quel sera votre plus beau rêve?
What will be your most beautiful dream that you could achieve?
École Notre-Dame.
This is from Notre Dame School.
Mon plus beau rêve.
My most beautiful dream, listen, my most beautiful dream is to increase the quality or improve the quality of people's lives. That's what we do here in the ESA based on the research that we do every day. Evidently, to make people happier on Earth, that's what we do. Yeah, we're here really for them. And so as we go further and further into space, we respond to other questions that are more fundamental. Where does life come from? How did water arrive on Earth, for example? Why did it disappear from Mars? Could it happen to us? This is my greatest dream or intention. If I can contribute to that even a little bit, well, listen, that would be my commitment, and my career would have served something.
Et voilà Thomas.
Here we are, Thomas. Thank you very much for having listened to us and given us to us a little bit of your precious time. Thank you and goodbye.
Merci à tous.
Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the event.
And thank you to all participants with the European Space Agency. We are now resuming operational audio communications.